Morning all. Right, I'm going to take a break from being depressed about my truck. I'm going to do some work on the hot rod for a change. But I do want to say thank you. I woke up to nearly 50 comments on the truck situation with tips, advice, positive and negative thoughts on what might be wrong. And being an eternal optimist, I'm going to go with the easy solutions first. One of which is I might need a new crankshaft sensor. So I've ordered one of them, should arrive on Saturday. And you know what, I'm just not going to touch it until then. Obviously, I do not want it to be a timing belt or timing chain issue, because that's just a nightmare. No one can afford to, at the moment, no one can afford to get their cars fixed at garages and pay thousands of dollars. So it's something that I'll have to try and do myself. Hence why I'll start with easy stuff first. So crankshaft sensor, coming Saturday, fit that, hope for the best. Right, let's get on with the project that does actually start and run. Right, let me show you what we're going to do today. I want to fix this leak that I've got. Coolant leak coming from this thermostat housing. These are actually a really terrible design. They have one O-ring at the base of that section. And because it's a swivelly one, when you turn that, it's just destroying that O-ring that's underneath there. There's nothing under this section to seal it, so it's all reliant on that O-ring. Really don't like this design. So I will probably nip out, like I did the other day in the truck, unsuccessfully, to try and find either a new housing or a better gasket situation. And then hopefully get that fitted, let it run, let it get up to pressure, and make sure I don't have any leaks. Right, let's start by removing this housing and obviously pouring coolant all over the engine, which is my favourite part of the job. This is why I haven't done this yet, because I just don't want to destroy everything electrical with coolant water, but it's got to be done. And of course it's got big Allen keys, Allen bolts that I just love. I love more than life, he says sarcastically. Just so awkward. What's wrong with nuts and bolts? So I'm expecting that much water. That's probably full of water. Yeah, so I'm expecting maybe a pint of water to come out. Hopefully I've got enough paper towels to catch it all. Before I take this off, I will loosen that. Make life a bit easier. So far no water, which is very interesting. Oh no, the water's underneath. Okay, so this bit's actually emptied, which is nice. So there's a close-up. Hold on a sec. Where are we? There. let me zoom back. Yeah, so you see that O-ring there? That is all that's preventing the fluid from getting from the engine to the outside world. There's no gasket material on this part at all, so it's not the best design. Okay, right. I would like to point out at this stage though, as you can see, the water is clean and green, so nothing brown, no milky nonsense going on in there, so I'm fairly sure that my piston rings are all good. My coolant isn't overheating, although I've not been running it very far, but it's not even getting all brown and rusty, so that's a great sign. Right, I'll just let that soak up and see who's got a new thermostat housing. That's a brand new thermostat. If it's really cheap, I'll just get another thermostat as well. Why not, while I'm in here? Right, let's see who can help today. So I'm not having much luck finding a usable thermostat housing. The problem I've got is, because of where my radiator is, the neck has to come straight out towards the front of the car. The standard small block Chevy comes out at an angle, so I can't really use that without getting all sorts of pipe connectors. So yeehaw, Canada Post, you get those packages there in time. Anyway, I did some more research and have a look at this. So this is the neck that sits on the manifold, okay? The O-ring goes in there, but on closer inspection, let me see if I can show you. I noticed that, see that section there? It's been hammered in at some point, or badly machined. And I also noticed there's a little point there. And when I put it down on this surface, which I know is flat, that is not perfectly flat. So what I'm thinking of doing is, I'm going to put a bit of fine sandpaper on there and grind this down flat. But I'm still going to nip out and get some silicone sealant, high temperature silicone sealant, because I really can't be bothered having to do this every month. Back in a bit. I have returned with stuff, high temperature gasket marker, and I decided I needed a bit cheering up, so I got myself some chocolate. Just a little box, keep me going. While I was out, I had an epiphany about this whole thermostat housing, so let me give you a closer look at what I found. So this is my thermostat housing. Let's say that that's the front of the car, okay, heading over to the radiator. So this mates up with the thermostat on the intake, okay? So the only thing keeping the water in is this O-ring. This is held in place by this doodah, which clamps down, holding it in place. If you want to rotate it, you have to loosen that off, turn that. As you can see, when you rotate that, it's going to rotate the O-ring with it. Now, the only thing holding that tight, as I say, is the clamping pressure of this forcing that downwards, right? Now, if I was to machine this surface down, then it would mean that the height between that section and the outside section would be higher up. Therefore, if I clamp that down, that's not going to get tight. You get me? Now, I think the problem is that it's already a wee bit too high, as in there's too much metal cut down the way there. So even once the O-ring compresses down the way, there's still not enough O-ring left to make a proper seal. Therefore, what I actually have to do is file down this section here, just by a mil or two, which means that that would actually be not exactly protruding, but at least it would give the O-ring a bit more squish. So that's what I'm going to do. making this flat really doesn't affect anything because it's the O-ring that's going to be getting squashed onto the surface down the way. Okay, that was a lot of waffle. Let me try it out. Let me sand this down flat. Take a mill off. Put it back on. Put some water in. See if it leaks. Hopefully it doesn't. So I'm not sure if you caught that though. When I started sanding, it was only the two edges that were grinding, which means it was kind of banana shaped. So I'm just going to keep doing that for a while until it's a fairly uniformed pattern on the paper. Oh, I got too far. Right, let's stop there, shall we? Have a wee look at, it should be a bit, we won't really know until we put it in. But hopefully that's enough. Although I'm not liking how it's rocking in there, but there's not a lot I can do about that because it's conical. Don't buy cheap parts, guys. You'll be chasing your tail forever. Right, let's fit this. I'm going to put a bit of silicone in that groove. Just a smear. And then I'll put a little bit on the top. Because that O-ring is all that's stopping the water from getting from the inside to the outside. Housing is back on. Now this sealant stuff says that you should tighten it kind of hand tight till the stuff starts squidging out a little bit, which it is. And then leave it for a couple of hours and then torque it down. So that's what I'm going to do because I'm a good little hot rodder. While I'm waiting, I suppose I could modify these brackets for the hood catches. So I just need to drill another hole there, chop off that section, maybe cut a little V into the bottom, same on the other side. Fairly straightforward, let's do that. There's my new brackets, and by new I mean modified and painted. That looks alright. Of course, it doesn't really matter unless it actually works. There we go. Check the other side, I guess. You're probably wondering why I've not painted that. Yeah, just haven't got around to it yet. Awesome. We're good. Right, so I just need to tighten my thermostat housing, start it up, roll it outside, leave it running, and hope I don't get a leak. Sounds simple, right? So we're up to temperature and pressure and the fan's on. So far no leak, but time will tell. Time will tell. Right then, I will update you tomorrow on the coolant leak situation. Hopefully that is gone. And then we'll decide what else we're doing. But that wasn't too bad. Hopefully I've fixed that leak and I've got my brackets for my hood covers done. Right folks, thanks for watching today. I will try and answer all the comments you left on the truck. There was a lot, so give me a minute. I do read every comment and I really appreciate all your help and advice. Let's all hope and pray that it's something simple like the crankshaft position sensor, which will arrive on Saturday. But honestly, I'm not touching the truck until that arrives. There's no point. I'll just drain the battery again. Also, yeah, a lot of you were saying it sounds funny when it's trying to turn over. Yeah, the thing is, generally when these things, when you turn the key, they start straight away and you don't hear the starter motor labouring, so it's hard to tell what they actually normally sound like when they don't start, you know what I mean? So we'll find out soon, I guess. I'm just not letting it get to me. I am very lucky that I don't require my truck for my YouTube channel, if you know what I mean. Most people, if they have a truck like this, it's their bread and butter, so thankfully I'm not in that situation. And I know some of you are, and my heart goes out to you if it happens to you. Right folks, I will see you all tomorrow evening. Thanks for watching again. Please subscribe, hit the like, the bell, and anything else you can see that's worth clicking. Oh, a like or a dislike, or, you know, just hit everything. Take care everyone. I'll put Bugsy away for the night.